And so I started plugging once a month in this newsletter saying like, hey, I have a private email that just goes to my clients. If you're interested in once a month, no fluff, 60 seconds of what's going on in the market in Spokane, subscribe here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the walkthrough, the most underrated, valuable marketing podcast in real estate history. Jason, I am Eric Simon, aka the Broke Agent, and I am joined here by my co-host Jason Cassidy, aka Jason Cassidy. We have a very
I don't get a nickname.
No, well, I didn't either. Well, I just called myself the Broke Agent, but last year I called you Commander Cassidy. Remember?
Last week, even.
Last week it was pretty good. All right. Well, we have a amazing, very special guest today. And Jason, she's probably one of the most special guests we've ever had because she is someone we, or should I say I, have mentioned on the show on a weekly basis. It's kind of embarrassing, actually, maybe 5 or 6 times on the last 5 or 6 episodes. It's actually getting crazy. I'm surprised she didn't just file a restraining order against me, but she has graced us on the show. She has one of the best Instagrams in real estate. She does an enormous amount of business from Instagram, and she has the best hyper-local content of 2024, maybe ever. It is an honor to welcome the Alyssa Carnot.
That is the best intro I've ever had. That is fantastic. I'm going to clip that out. Yeah.
Alyssa Carnot. She is by far and away the most special guest we've ever had. We talk about her all the time. I'm really excited for this one.
Let's do it. So today we're going to cover a new Instagram feature that will allow you to reset your algorithm. Should you use it or should you not? Gary V's social media predictions for 2025 and how Alyssa gets, films, and converts on her hyper-local content. And then we are going to have Marketer of the Week. But before we get into the show, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. If you get value out of this podcast and this YouTube channel, it is by far the best way to support the show. You see that? I'm giving a little call to action early in the show because I always give them towards the end saying, did you get value out of this?
Yeah.
Switching it up. The little engagement strategy there, Alyssa. Get them while they're still watching, you know?
That's right.
Which you should watch to the end of this video because it is going to be amazing when we actually interview Alyssa on her strategy. Okay, so the first topic, breaking Instagram news. They will soon let you set or reset your recommendations in stream. So this is from Social Media Today, and I'll just read a little bit of this article and then we could dissect it. Have you ever wanted to clear the slate of your Instagram? Has on your interests and start afresh? I certainly have, Jason. As you can see, Instagram will still keep your activity and interest info for targeting, but in terms of the content that it recommends, which is an increasing amount of what you see in the app, they will give you an option to reset and start over. So let's put this video from Adam Mosseri, Instagram CEO, and then we'll give our recommendations if you should do something like this or not, because I think it could actually harm you on Instagram.
The ability to reset your recommendations on Instagram. Now, we rank content because there's a ton to see on Instagram, and one that surfaces stuff that you're going to be the most interested in, stuff that's going to inspire you to create or to talk to your friends about it. But sometimes we make mistakes, and I want to acknowledge that. And sometimes you might end up in a pattern where you just make Instagram unintentionally into something that you do not love. You know, Explore, for instance, can be really tippy. I have looked at some old soccer highlights and all of a sudden Explore was just all soccer highlights and I just didn't love it anymore. So if you get into a bad spot, you can now reset all your recommendations across all your Instagram surfaces. You go to Profile, Settings, and then the Content Preferences, and you can do it there. Now, I want to be clear, this is a big thing to do. It's going to make your Instagram much less interesting at first because we're going to treat you as if we know nothing about you and your interests, and it'll take us some time to learn those again. So it's not something I recommend doing all the time. But if you do end up in a place where you really don't feel great about your experience, this gives you an out. So if you are there, try it out. Let me know down below in the comments what you think.
Hypothetically, Jason, if People Magazine on Instagram or something posted an article about, I don't know, Sydney Sweeney, for example, and for whatever reason, I stayed on that post for longer than usual just because I was reading the article. And then my Explore feed just started feeding me Sydney Sweeney posts for the next 5 or 6 weeks. This might be something I want to do because I want to get inspiration from other real estate accounts. I want to see other meme accounts. And right now my Explore feed is honestly just flooded with Sydney Sweeney. So Alyssa, follow that up, I guess.
Hypothetically.
Sydney Sweeney from Spokane, Washington, actually.
Is she?
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
Look at this. She knows everything about Spokane.
Yeah.
You do? Oh, I would, Alyssa, hyper local reel on Sydney Sweeney right now. Something about that. Where did she grow up? What
I mean,
neighborhood?
that would
Where
be
is she
fire.
living
That would
now?
show up. That would show up in Eric's Explore page.
Yeah.
Instantaneously. Alyssa, do you go on the Explore page a lot to get inspiration from content? Do you think you'll reset your algorithm? What do you think about this?
No, I don't. I
Yeah.
don't really see a need to. Yeah, I will scroll like, in the not an Explore, but it's the Reels thing, but
Yeah.
I don't really go to the Explore page that much. And then we can talk about it later, but I have like all my favorites and stuff are like local businesses and stuff that I'll scroll through, but I don't really utilize the Explore page a ton.
Yeah, I think more the reel recommendations I don't use Explore either. I just click the reel tab, and then I always search on the Broke Agent or BAM for relevant memes or real estate news or something like that. So if you do clear out your cache for something like this, it could completely reset your algorithm. You're going to kind of have to reteach it.
Did
Jason,
you
what
say
about you? Are
cache?
you going to? I don't know. Is that right?
Is it not cache?
Clear cache. Yeah, clear cache. I
Did
don't know. I used to
I
do
just
that on
want to
my
make sure I
desktop in
wasn't saying it wrong.
2005.
Wrong the
Yes,
whole time.
I don't know. I've never heard anyone say it out loud. Actually, Jason, do you think this is a feature that you'll use?
Maybe. Here's the deal. Like my entire Explore page at this point is just golf shots and sports bets. So like I don't know that, but if I clear the cache in 37 seconds, my entire Explore page is just going to be golf shots and sports bets again, right? So like
Right.
I'm not changing my, you know what I mean? Now, if you could give me a feature that would allow me to like reset my content 7 years back, so I could just do hyper local stuff like Alyssa, because that's ideally
Mhm.
from a real estate agent perspective what I would prefer to have done. And now I just do more agent centric stuff and all that type of stuff, and it's just morphed my page into something. I love what he said. He's like, if Instagram's not something that you love anymore, and I'm like, yeah, right here. But
Right.
like, I wish I could go back and set some of my content decisions back, but that's not what this is. This is really just changing your Explore page and like the suggested feed post that you're going to get. It knows me pretty well. So like, I just kind of feel like I'll just be right back in the same spot in a day or two if I
Yeah.
do that.
I think if maybe your Explore page or your recommendations are distracting you and you want to use it more as a scroll to get inspiration from. So if you are getting, nonstop sports bet and golf shots, that could take you down kind of a doom scroll hole. That always
Sure.
happens to me on TikTok and Instagram. But on the BAM Instagram, I get so much more inspiration because it's more professional, right? It's not the sports or the highlights or anything like
I
that.
get
It's
it. Yep.
actually giving me media that I want to consume. So,
I could see this especially for like new year, new me type, setting the 2025 goals and you just want to clear and start fresh and
yeah,
get back on track with, more real estate related stuff. Maybe this could work. But again, it's just one sided because it's only for you that it's changing. It's not like what people see on your
mhm.
content. So, your content's still going to be your content. It's just for what you're seeing in your suggested feed. Still
Yeah,
cool. I get it. But
yeah. It's not a big deal. It's just, inspiration. We always talk about where,
mhm.
Jimmy Mack on the last episode, where do you get your inputs from? Where are you actually getting ideas for content? And when I scroll and I see other agents post, that's great content for me to talk about on the walkthrough. But when I scroll and it's a golf shot, it's not. So I will be clearing my cache in January or whenever this thing comes out. So let us know in the comments if you're going to use this new feature from Adam Asseri. All right, topic number 2, Gary V's predictions for 2025. Haley, if we could pull this up, Coffee and Contracts did a deep dive through, I think, like 2 months of content about everything Gary V has been saying. And then we're going to read some of these and then give you our kind of tips or, break down what we think is actually going to happen in 2025. So if we could swipe to the next one, basically what he is saying is that follower counts are becoming irrelevant. I think this is one of the most important things that he talked about because everything is now about the recommendation algorithm, the AI that is feeding us into our faces. So the 500,000 followers that I've developed on the Broke Agent kind of becoming more and more meaningless as the Instagram algorithm just kind of feeds your content. Value-driven content, of course, both polished and raw content. I really like this aspect because you don't, as an agent, want to only post talking head style reels that are those highly edited. You do want to do the in the car videos. And Alyssa, you do a good job at kind of mixing these up where it's highly edited versus kind of more raw content. We always talk about variety and then experiment with high output strategies such as creating long form content like podcasts to break it down. All right, keep going. Make sure your bio works for you. Simple call to actions, book an appointment with me. You don't want anything that's too convoluted in your Instagram bio to actually convert. So something that's subtle. Think like a publisher, provide free value to first build your trust and then educate your audience. And then next slide, multiple platform growth. Gary emphasizes the importance of being on multiple platforms: YouTube Shorts, Snapchat, Spotlight, Facebook, Instagram. Tailor content for each platform. So don't just press upload and it goes to everything. You actually have to tailor the content the way it likes to be consumed on those platforms. And then advertising and growth, start organically. I thought this was really important because if you are starting a YouTube channel or Instagram and you just start running ads right away, that's problematic because you're not building that audience organically. He recommends that if you have a post that kicks off or a post that does really well, to actually put some ad spend behind that once you've kind of grown your audience organically. So Jason, I think you do this, right? If you have a post that does well,
Mm-hmm.
that I have a buyer post, and then you actually put an ad behind it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. And then he also says AI obviously is going to be important. Use tools like ChatGPT to generate content ideas, kind of standard stuff. And that is pretty much all Gary Vee says. Consistent content creation, value-driven engagement, and staying authentic and embracing tools. So did we take anything away here? Alyssa, what are your kind of predictions for 2025, or what do you think was most important there from the legend?
I think the authenticity thing for sure is always important. I think people just really gravitate towards relatability and relatable content, and people who they see as authentic, and that translates into trust. What he said about thinking like a publisher and giving things away for free, it's like that's what I think Instagram is all about. It's like just giving all this information away, because then that just solidifies you as the trusted person. And so in real estate, like when we're trying to convert people, they already trust you, so because you're just giving away all that information for free. And so then when you do something like, say something about real estate or whatever it is, they see that as you're trying to be helpful, or because you've already eliminated that barrier of trust. So I think I like that one. That's
Yeah.
always a good one.
I think authenticity, it's cliche, but I think it really comes out when you're producing content that you enjoy doing. Like with Alyssa's, if everyone goes to her page and you watch her content, you seem like you're having fun while you're filming it or while you're talking about something. Like you're clearly passionate about what you're doing. I see a lot of agents, including myself sometimes, you feel like it's a burden to produce content. Like Jason, remember that time I was bulk recording in San Diego and I felt like
Yep.
a hostage and I was all over the place. Like
Yep.
I couldn't post any of those videos because it looked like I was forcing out the content. So if you could have fun while you're producing the content, like that translates through the videos so much, where the audience feels that authenticity because they're like, oh, this person actually likes what they're talking about. Jason, what did you think about that?
Yeah, the authenticity
Coffee
thing is
contracts
right.
post?
And it's like more so just the raw version of the content, right? So like I did this post where I was kind of like role playing a phone script, and I had my phone on and I was like, it looked like you were listening in and I was talking in, and it did really, really well, like hundreds of thousands of views. And I think it was just because it was more raw. You were just kind of listening in raw on me talking on the phone, as opposed to this polished thing, which if I had done that as a talking head, like here's how to do this script as a kind of what we've been doing for the last 2 or 3 years, it wouldn't have done as well. It wouldn't have. And so like people in a voyeuristic setting, like listening into something they're not supposed to be listening into, or just seeing something raw, as if you turn, that's why you talked about like in the car type stuff, because it's so clearly just raw. It's like there's just a phone there. Those are going to do really, really good, because we've gotten so used to the polished content that now we want to see like the raw content. And so like the hack there, the strategy is like make your polished content look raw. You know what I mean? There was another one that I did where I walked up to one of those bandit signs. It's a little sign outside of Target where it's like, call 619 blah 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 for it's a $700,000 house with an ARV of 1.1. And I called the number, but I did it live. But I had my videographer filming me call live, and so it was a polished videographer thing, but it looked raw because I was walking up to this sign on the street corner by Target, and that did really well too. And so I think videos like that, in the street type videos, raw videos, are going to do a lot better than maybe the polished talking head content that we've done for the last 2 or 3 years.
Totally agree. And that's what he said, a combination of polished versus the word of the day, Alyssa, which is
Authenticity.
raw,
Raw. Oh,
actually.
raw. Gosh.
Yes. All right. Fantastic post there from Coffee and Contracts. Shout out them and Gary Vee for the 2025 predictions. Let us know in the comments, another call to action, what you predict in 2025 for social media. All right, Jason.
Here we
Now
go.
it is time.
It's time.
We have the Instagram queen, the hyper local master, if you will, Alyssa right here. I have 4 or 5 videos from you, Alyssa, and the first one I want to play, because you have such a wide variety of, local business spotlights. You have one where you're talking about new developments or Trader Joe's going in or Costco's. You have ones about new restaurants and then new listings, even the little holidays like National Cheeseburger Day. I did a deep dive on your Instagram. Remember, Jason, I always joke about using these little stupid holidays. Alyssa actually does it.
She does it. You don't have to convince me that she is the best Instagram account to follow right now in real
Yes.
estate.
Yes. If anybody needs inspiration, go follow Alyssa right now. So, Haley, let's pull up the first video that we have. I believe it is the Perfect Local Business Spotlight, where she did a collab with the local business as well.
If you want to be the coolest mom in Spokane, I have the place that you can take the kids to become just that. Tucked inside the blissful whisk off of Barker in the Valley is a kids' paradise and a candy shop with some of the most unique treats that I have seen in Spokane. This new candy shop has ice cream and fancy milkshakes, but what really stands out here is the cotton candy. We went with the 2 crowd favorites. First up, a cotton candy burrito. So you pick 2 flavors of cotton candy, 2 kinds of ice cream. The ice cream is rolled up into the cotton candy. Then there's a variety of toppings like sprinkles, nerds, Oreos, or Fruity Pebbles. And then next up, we got some cotton candy characters. You can get a dog, a flower, Hello Kitty. We went with a minion and a unicorn, complete with edible glitter because duh. And I don't know if my daughter could have had a bigger smile or sugar rush. You can choose from the usual cotton candy flavor suspects, but they also have unique ones like dill pickle, pumpkin spice, and maple bacon. There's also cotton candy to-go tub, custom cotton candy cake, and edible glitter mocktail bombs, which you can put in something like Sprite or Italian sodas. Share this video with a friend in Spokane who might need a sugar rush.
All right. If I had one of those, I would be in the hospital. That looks
100%.
insane.
It was a rough hour after that, I'll tell you that.
With the 2
Sure it
kids?
was.
Oh my goodness.
So I guess my first question is, amazing job at the hook. Do you want to be the coolest mom in Spokane? Spokane, by the way, Jason, not Spokane. I learned that from the Instagram comments.
It's in past episodes.
Exactly. You're calling the exact avatar of the people who'd be interested in this. So it's an immediate hook, which I'm sure is purposeful. But how did you, I guess, come up with that video, collab with them? Did they reach out to you to do this video, or was it completely organic?
That one did reach out to me. Their business had been kind of struggling. I had never heard of it. They opened about 4 or 5 months ago. And so she reached out to me and asked if I could collab. And I get those requests a decent amount. And a lot of times I have to say no, because it just doesn't fit my brand. It doesn't fit whatever they're doing. But I thought it was cool. It was totally up my alley because my ideal, follower and client avatar is moms. And so it was catered exactly to that. So I just went on a Saturday and took my girls and just, made it a thing. So they reached out to me for that one.
Do you get that happen? You said it happens a decent amount. Like once a week? Like, is that every post you're doing now? Is those, or is it just kind of like hit?
I would say I had turned down probably 80%. I get a lot. I get asked at least weekly, for ideas and stuff. Like, we just recently had a big Houston hot chicken open up, and like the corporate actually DM me and asked me to do a post about them, and I had already done one. So anyways, like that I turned down. I've gotten approached by like McDonald's and stuff that I had to turn down because it just doesn't fit my brand. But yeah.
Are these potential paid sponsorships? Like, was this one with it was paid?
Yeah. No, this one was not. I didn't do this one
Okay.
paid. A lot of the small businesses I don't. But the bigger ones, they do offer, paid opportunities.
Wow. You know what's amazing to me, or not amazing, but like that was almost completely shot on your phone, right? So like that's the thing is like, and so like we talked about raw and authentic, like you had your girls there, you were shooting with your phone and you were just capturing their reaction in real time, and just like that wasn't a $2,000 videographer video, and you were just able to edit it properly. And obviously it has to do with like your hook and your outro. If you're a mom, share this with other moms who might like this or whatever. And so there's never a real estate call to action. This is just pure growth, but you're doing it with your cell phone and your fam. And that's, I think, why it did so well.
Yeah. I think this like is similar to like the publisher thing. It's like putting out, it's not real estate related stuff, but it's building that trust. It's like I had so many people who sent me photos in my DMs afterwards of their kids holding the characters and saying, thank you, you gave us a fun activity. And I don't know. So then when they're there at that place, they're thinking of me because I'm the one who told them about it. So
I like the form. You seem to have a similar formula where it's you in front of the camera first delivering the hook, and then it's B-roll with voiceover, and then you pop back in and kind of give the call to action, the share with a friend sort of thing. Is that purposeful? Do you do that in every video?
Yeah, it's pretty much every video. I will go into the shoot because I have a general idea of it. So I will have pre-written my intros and outros ahead of time. So when I go there, I know like what I'm shooting, and then I'll just make notes on my phone while I'm there about the voiceover, like notes or things that I found out when I was there, and then go back and just write a 4-sentence voiceover.
So you're actively thinking of the B-roll shots that'll go well in the video, right? So you film those, you said before or after, then you go in the actual restaurant or business, film your kids, film them making the minion thing, and it's all conscious knowing that this is what you're going to post later on.
Exactly. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Smart formula. So that's easy formula. Intro and outro you do after or before. And right? Do you say after or before?
It depends on the situation. Sometimes I'll usually do it afterwards just because then I will have experienced it. So if I don't shoot it and then something happens there where I'm like, I totally need to change the intro because it's
Right.
not what I thought it was or something, then I can. But so usually I do it afterward.
That makes sense. And these videos get insane engagement. And she also collabed with that business. So obviously she's popping up in that business's Instagram feed as well. So that's a great way to grow your audience. I mean, this is a whole new route of monetization, Jason, for people doing hyperlocal content. Like they would pay, I don't know how much they would pay, but 500,000, not 500,000, 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,500 bucks maybe to have a local agent with a decent following do this. This could be an entire new revenue stream for you.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I've had. Oh, go ahead, Alyssa.
No, oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, it's something that like I've actually had to make a conscious effort or focus on not getting too far down that rabbit hole because I think I did at one point really not think about doing that like full time, but like, okay, how can I make both of them work? So you have to be really conscious also not to go down that rabbit hole and leave real estate behind.
I mean,
Makes
yeah,
sense.
because even at $1,000 a piece, and you do one a week, you're not quitting your job just to do these influencer spots, right? Yeah.
So that was an example of a business spotlight. Now we have an Alyssa video about a new development.
Hey Northsider, have you seen all that construction going on in the Tomato Street parking lot? Well, here's what's going on there.
At one of the busiest intersections in Spokane, Francis and Division, there's a new restaurant being built and it's going to be a good one. It's the location of Spokane's very first Dave's Hot Chicken, but the franchisee that's opening the restaurant says they have agreed to open 2 locations, so stay tuned for the whereabouts of that second location.
So I think a lot of people, when they watch this, they might think, all right, so what's the point of these community posts? Obviously, it's to build trust, but where's the connection of, leads basically coming through this? Like, where does real estate business actually come from these Instagram posts?
I think so. Well, in the development ones, it's kind of, I feel like it's a little bit of a more natural correlation between the two, between real estate and doing the developments. But it's also showing that I am very into the community and understanding what's happening and that I know my stuff. And so then people, when they, like with those development ones, I get people all the time who say, hey, I've seen construction on this intersection. What's going on there? I saw this business shut down. What's going in there? And so I think it's creating that trust. And like, yeah, people might not reach out directly about that and say like, hey, you want to sell my house? You know what I mean? But like it's creating, it's hooking them and making them care about what I'm putting out there 80% of the time, and then when I sprinkle in real estate stuff and when they're in that position that they want to buy or sell a home, they think of me because they're following me for all my other stuff. But then they feel comfortable because they trust me reaching out when they're in that position to buy or sell a home.
And these posts don't die. Like I notice in the comments, people do ask questions saying, oh, I saw something on this street. What's going up there? And you're very responsive to everything. So you're not just like publishing a piece of content and then letting it kind of do its thing. You're continuing the conversations with these people as that local authority. So anytime there's construction around, they're probably thinking, oh, hopefully Alyssa will make a video about this. If not, I could ask her in the comments and then she'll respond. And that's creating the already kind of a client relationship that you know everything about this. So anyone that talk shit, Jason, about these hyper local videos. Not that anyone does, but I feel like a lot of people kind of roll their eyes sometimes like, well, what's the point of posting a restaurant video or a coffee shop review? It's this. You are building that trust with your audience. And also your content is so much more interesting for someone who isn't buying or selling real estate at the time. Like I would follow you if I was in Spokane because I just want cool information on what to do. And then down the road, I might buy or sell.
That's the thing. These clients are 7 or 8 years that they move. And so like, how do we stay in touch with them for the other 7.5 years when they don't care about contingencies or NAR settlements or other things like that? It's this development in their neighborhood.
Yeah.
It's these new business reviews and things like that. And not only to the local people who want to see it, but like, we always talk about agent to agent referrals. And like, obviously, like if I put out a bunch of agent content, I get more agent followers and then potentially more referrals. But I'm not necessarily the first person they think of when they think of San Diego all the time, because I haven't done a good enough job putting San Diego at the forefront, whereas you're putting Spokane at the forefront of everything. So I think it's probably a lot better because, there's still other agents who are going to follow you and learn about you and see you. So when they have a referral for Spokane, I would guess, I have no idea about your business in the sense that you're probably also getting agent to agent referrals, right? Because of this stuff, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I just got one like 2 weeks ago, and the girl said that the reason I got it was because of my content. I think she found me on like Google of your review or whatever. And then the first thing she did, she went to like 3 different agents and went to their Instagram, and she reached out to me. She's like, "'Cause I can tell you know your stuff." And it was an out of town buyer who doesn't know anything about the area, and she just wanted someone who knew the area really well. And so that's why I got the referral.
Boom.
Amazing.
Great
All right,
job.
I got a couple more here. I know the audience is going to love this because we're kind of hitting each thing, whether it's a listing, a restaurant, new development. So the next one we have is a great way to talk about a new restaurant going in.
You know the Kendall Yards type area going on in North Spokane right by Costco? Well, there's been a big change, and here's the scoop.
MeadWorks is going to be 1,400 homes. There will be single family and multifamily homes, plus stores and restaurants, a trail system, and a lot of open space, plus a large 55 plus community called Trutina, and the developer says it's going to be resort style. Construction is about to get underway on the first phase of 50 homes that you see here in blue and green, with the goal of the first move-in to be summer 2025. They are also working on a park in this first part of construction. According to the Spokane Journal of Business, this whole development is going to take a total of about 20 years to completely finish.
Okay, so what do you think about all this change going on in North Spokane? Let me know in the comments.
Haley, can you keep the post up and then just put the volume down? So that was not a restaurant post, obviously. That's on me for mixing those links up. That was a new development, but I just want to read this caption. MeadWorks is going in to have similar feel to Kendall Yards, and it will bring 1,400 homes, some restaurants, retail, so you're giving information, 55 plus community to the area. The whole project will take around 20 years to complete, but it's going to be a game changer in that area. If you're interested in a home in MeadWorks and would like to be added to my list for more information on the upcoming homes here, shoot me a DM. So that's a call to action. I assume that they're being added to your newsletter.
Yeah, and I actually have a list from a video that I did previously, maybe 6 months ago on this area when I first broke the news about it. I have probably 10 people on that list to get more information on the new homes there.
Jason, I saw you develop a slight smirk there. Was it something I said?
No, it was the first comment on there from Salmon Finger Farms saying, "What is it with all the Californians moving to Spokane? Please tell them there's no vacancy." And so I was just getting a chuckle about that one.
People hate Californians. And Haley, if you could pull that back up, actually, I want to go through the comments just to show you kind of what comes from a post like this. So everybody obviously very opinionated. I have several choice words for the developer who chose the idea of resort style. Keep going down. The north-south freeway might get done before that. And all these posts or all these comments, 25 likes, like people are going in the comment section to kind of experience and get a feel for the feedback that their other Spokanese are experiencing. Spokane residents?
Spokanites. Yeah.
Is that actually called Spokanites?
Unfortunately, yeah.
Oh my God. That's crazy. So I
did
just
stir the pot with that one. Like I knew people are really ticked about this development. So that's why I said at the end, I was like, comment with what you think about all this expansion going on, and just tried, because I knew that usually I invite people to share the page with somebody, but for this one where it was going to be controversial I wanted them to get angry in the comments.
Makes sense. And then you pulled up an article too in that video. So how are you finding, I guess, these new developments? Are you driving around and just seeing them as construction, or are you actually searching a local Spokenite website?
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes I will be driving and seeing construction, and I'll just make like a note in my phone saying what intersection it was, and then I'll go back into the permits. So I reach out to my local building and planning departments for the city and the county and stuff, and I have their portals, and so that's how I get a lot of the permit information. And I just have a bookmarks where I'll just go through and I'll put in the parcel number of whatever I see construction going in at, and it will spell out usually exactly what's going on there. So that's where I get the most information. But I follow things like, there's Facebook groups and like the Spokane Journal of Business. I pay for that, the newspaper, because even when it breaks, like I did a story yesterday about this new Costco that's not going to happen anymore, and it had been in the paper for like a week and a half, and yet people were still treating it like I was the first person to tell them, because no one reads the paper. I
Because no
mean, at
one
least
reads
the
the
people who are on
paper.
Instagram following my Instagram for stories, they don't read the paper or the Spokane Journal of Business. So,
Right.
yeah.
We always say the local mayor thing, Jason, but people, no one reads the Tucson Citizen, right? If there was an agent saying all this stuff and getting all that information, and that video, that Costco video, was a follow-up to another video that you did, right? So these videos could become in multiple series. Like once something actually gets built, you could say, hey, remember that Topgolf I was just talking about? Well, here it is now.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What I really loved about it in the bottom of your caption too, and you said it in the last video, was like, share this with a friend who would want to know about this, right? And so it's never, I mean, it's always just in trying to get more comments or more shares, which is the stuff you want on these videos, because these videos are about engagement and growth and reach, not the right hook of the real estate side of things. So yeah, share with a friend, comment below. Those are all the right call to actions for these type of videos.
Yeah, you knock these out of the park. And another thing you knock out of the park, listing videos, Jason. I also have an Alyssa listing video here. And then we'll get into National Cheeseburger Day. Everyone, throw this video a like if you're enjoying this content. I think this is such a great breakdown. This should be your 2025 Instagram marketing playbook as you go to Alyssa's profile and then you replicate everything that she does, except not in Spokane.
Do you want to see one of the most expensive and most beautiful homes on the market in Spokane right now? Come on.
This French estate in North Spokane is in the gated River Bluff community near 1898 and St. George's. First up, I want to show you the kitchen. Marble countertops, a massive island, 2 dishwashers, and even a hidden fridge. But it gets better. Right around the corner is this huge butler's pantry with a sink, fridge, dishwasher, and tons of storage. Now let's head to the master suite. A gorgeous clawfoot tub, heated floors, a steam shower, and the best closet ever. Look at this thing. It is massive with awesome natural light and great organization. And let's head outside. Imagine entertaining out here. The heated saltwater pool, hot tub, a gas fire pit, outdoor kitchen, and all on 6.5 acres. There is so much going on in this house that I couldn't even fit it all in, so see the caption for even more features like the guest house and shop.
Share this video with a friend who you think should buy this house.
Same formula there, Jason. Alyssa hook, B-roll, call to action. Brilliant. What were you going to say?
Alyssa has a newscaster voice. And so because I know Alyssa's background, share with us, do you have previous experience in the news, Alyssa?
What?
I sure do. Yep. That's what my degree's in from Gonzaga, is broadcast journalism. And I worked at our local news station for 3 years and then decided I hate news. So
she's got like the perfect voice and cadence for this. Do you ever notice that on like the hooks and stuff like that? Share with a friend who would like to know more about this house tonight at 7. Like she's got the perfect cadence.
Well, yeah, this brings light to everything. So, Alyssa, you have this secret talent that nobody knew about.
Yeah, thanks a lot for blowing that one, Jason.
Have you ever brought this up on Instagram or said, like, I used to be a newscaster?
Yeah, I don't put it out there a ton because it makes me kind of unrelatable, and but it's come out there sometimes. Yeah.
Well, Taya DeCarlo used to be an actress, or she also used to be a newscaster, I think, right? Or an anchor. Just saying every profession possible.
Around the TV world.
She's around the TV world, but it does come out on these videos. So that, again, this is just that same formula. Hook, want to see one of the most beautiful homes in Spokane, B-roll, voiceover, simple call to action. And now let's get into National Cheeseburger Day, because this is one of the most simple videos you can make, but I still think got a bunch of engagement. That's it. It's
That's it.
B-roll. It's a video of Alyssa annihilating a burger. It's top 5 burgers in Spokane. And then in the caption, you just listed the top 5. But it's just such an easy concept video. Do you do that for any other holidays or
I have. I don't do
anything?
that one as much as I should. But like that one, I had somehow heard that it was National Cheeseburger Day. And so I was like, hey, I think I like when I'm out at restaurants, I try to get a ton of shots just so I can use them for future things. Not a ton, but I knew I had that one. I was like, oh, that'll be a good just like repeating reel. So I just like I said in that I tagged the 5 businesses that have like the favorite cheeseburgers in town. And then I had in the comments a ton of people who were like either like, I disagree with your choice, or but you forgot about this one, and so it popped off there too.
It's low hanging fruit. That was a 6-second reel B-roll of you crushing a burger, and then you have the text over it, and then you go with the long caption which explains why on each, and then you tag all 5. Perfect. I mean, it's such easy. Like in 2025, people listening to this and say, I don't know what to shoot. You have no excuses anymore, right? Because you could literally just do this for a couple of seconds while you're eating spaghetti, and you could be top 5 Italian spots in San Diego. Done.
That's what Haley does a lot in Coffee and Contracts. It's B-roll. It's her just like sitting at a table drinking a coffee, and then it's 5 Instagram tips that pop up because it keeps your eye interested in the action that's going on. Do you have a newsletter associated with all this hyperlocal content? Like, is there a Spokenite newsletter or something?
That
Or
I
your
put out?
newsletter? Yes.
Yes, I do. I have every Thursday. I have one that goes out. It usually is like a content roundup. So it has all the things. If I haven't shot a reel on something or posted it, I'll still give sneak peeks. Like, hey, I'll take 3 stills or photos from what I did and say, hey, heads up. I haven't put this out there on Instagram, but there's a new restaurant going in. Here are the details. So then they feel like they're on the in. And then it has just like weekend events. And I just started it like end of July. And I think we're at like 900 people from Instagram, like guides and stuff that I've pulled. And we have like a 60 or 70% open rate. So it does decent.
Dude, that's amazing. Like average real estate email open rates is like 20%, 25%, something like that. Cause it's obviously just like a bunch of leads you've taken in, but you did it differently. You got them all from Instagram. These are people interested in Spokane, and now you're providing them with stuff about Spokane, but it gives you almost like an avenue to then eventually mix in some real estate too, without it just being on social. Like, if you have a
Yeah.
new listing, you can hit them with hey, just wanted to get this out to my private clients. This is an amazing flip opportunity. Might not be for you, but if it is, check this out. Or if you know someone who's interested, send this to them, right? Now you're giving them some real estate information without it being like too real estatey, I guess.
Yeah. I try to not like hit them over the head with real estate, but I sprinkle it in there for sure. Like I'll usually have some sort of call to action. Like when rates went down, I just did a little blurb about that and then click here to schedule something or ask a question. And then I started solely so I could figure out a way to push more real estate stuff. I do like a monthly market update for my clients. And so I started plugging once a month in this newsletter saying like, hey, I have a private email that just goes to my clients. If you're interested in once a month, no fluff, 60 seconds of what's going on in the market in Spokane, subscribe here. So I just started pushing that to the people. And I think I had like 100 people from those 900 sign up last month for it.
Wow.
Which means
So
100 people like from Instagram because that's where they came in. That's where they came in originally.
You could get so many emails from Instagram, whether you're using mini chat bots on your Instagram posts or your stories, even just showing the newsletter, showing a video of, hey, this is the newsletter I send out every Thursday. If you want the stuff before it even hits Instagram, let me know. Anytime you could give people that FOMO and access to, here's some exclusive information before I even publish it to Instagram, they're going to be chomping at the bits for something like that. So amazing content by Alyssa.
thanks, Eric.
Yeah. All right. I mean, that was an amazing episode. This is brought to you by Reminder Media. Everybody, if you are an agent looking to stand out from the crowd like Alyssa, Reminder is a resource you have to check out. You get your own branded print and digital magazines, email newsletters, and social media content. Reminder Media delivers these resources to your contacts on autopilot, keeping you top of mind with your database. All you got to do is focus on your follow-up calls and watch referrals and repeat business come in. There is a link down below for Reminder Media. And Alyssa, we are having the BAMIs on December 11th. It is our Real Estate Content Award Show, December 11th, 2025 of this year. And we do have a category for Best Hyper Local Account. I have a feeling you might be nominated.
Sweet.
I don't know. It's by the people for the people. So I'll have nothing to do. I won't put my thumb on the scale of this one, but there's a link down below. It's bammies.live. I believe. If you want to nominate, we have best listing video, funniest content, most useful account to follow, most original video. Jimmy Mackin came up with that. There's 6 categories, and we're having Neil Dingra speak at the BAMIs. So it's going to be like your 2025 marketing plan. So should be good. Jason, I don't know if you are nominated for anything yet, unfortunately.
I don't. First of all, I doubt I would be. What would it be? Best co-host?
Yeah, best co-host,
Okay,
exactly.
we'll take
Best real estate marketing podcast. If you
Underrated
enjoyed
real
this
estate marketing
episode, everybody, make sure you throw it a like right now. Let's get this to 100. Our last video, I think, got 96 likes. Let's break that record. Get this to 100 likes right here. If you enjoyed this information, your 2025 Instagram playbook from Alyssa, go follow her. Alyssa, what are you at right now, follow count wise?
Like 18,500.
18,500. Let's get her to 20,000 because we're going to have a couple thousand people watching this episode. And Jason, what are you at?
I don't know, but I think 18,500 is the entire population of Spokane. So she might just have everybody. Boom.
That's
Did
right.
I just roast Spokane? By the way, I've been to Spokane twice now in the last couple of years for events, and it is a beautiful city.
Didn't you go to a Gonzaga game?
Yeah, we went to a Zags game. That's right, with
Sure
Alyssa
did.
and our friend Tanya. Yeah, and they won by like 40.
Nice.
Of course
They're good this year. They're number 3 in the country.
They just
Yeah,
beat San Diego State on Monday.
Sure did.
At San Diego State.
At San Diego State, it was a 1-2 punch. The Seahawks beat the Niners, and Gonzaga beat San Diego State.
That was a brutal loss for the
It was
Niners,
a brutal weekend, Eric.
But a great weekend
right
for the Hawks and Alyssa.
for you. That's right. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning into the walkthrough. We won't see you next week because it is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Hey, let's do what we're thankful for real quick before we end this. Jason, what are you thankful for? Family, content, anything.
I'm thankful that the business seemed to have come back a little bit this year. It was not to say, by the way, this is not first world problems, but 2021 was our best year, and then 22 and 23 got slow. As rates kind of went up, and I think 24 will come just under 21 as one of our better years. So a good year for business. Obviously, health, family, all the normal stuff. I love. I'm just like throwing that in at the tail end, but
family.
but having seemingly back on track year is what I'm really excited about.
Nice. Good for you. Having a great year in business. 2025 will be even better for the Cassidy team. Alyssa, what about you? What are you thankful for?
Ooh, Jason kind of took mine. Let's see.
I'm thankful for you, Eric, for always talking about me on the walkthrough.
Yeah.
Doing that green screen video that picked me up 2,000 followers. That was unbelievable. Thank you so much for the promotion. Thank you, Alyssa. I appreciate it.
Yeah, that's what I was. It was right on the tip of my tongue. I was about to say
Right.
that.
Exactly. All right. Well, I'm thankful for you guys, Jason for co-hosting the show, Alyssa for coming on, and any of the people who listen to this episode. I know everyone's busy, real estate. The fact that people sit there, through 50 minutes of straight real estate marketing, we are developing a niche for this. What an awful way to end the episode. Developing a niche for that. That made absolutely no sense. We'll see you in 2 weeks on the walkthrough.